Good afternoon, folks, and welcome back to today's edition of the Strictly Muscles Chronicles. Thank you for making time out of your day to watch the video. Thank you even more for implementing everything you're learning in these videos, because that's the gist of it, is implementation of what you learn into your daily lives. That's where you get the benefit of it. It's not just from learning it, but from doing. Jumping into our nutrition again right away, I wanted to go ahead and just remind everybody what we kind of set for the task for the week, and it is to be aware of your hunger and fullness cues, that 80% full, and stop when you're satisfied, not when you're stuffed. So that was the skill to develop. The habits that I walked us through were to slow down our eating, and yesterday I mentioned to be eliminate distractions while you're eating. So the tasks in order to build the habits, in order to build the skill around eating slowly, were to put your utensil down in between bites. The task that I'm going to implement on my breakfast and dinners was to savor each bite. So really focusing on the taste, the smell, and the texture of each bite. A third thing is, in terms of tasks that you can try, is to take a sip of water in between each bite to slow it down. And then the fourth thing that I brought up was to set a timer, figure out your baseline that it took for you to eat, and then work on adding 30 seconds to 60 seconds each meal. And then you can add and improve that duration of your meals and eating slower throughout the week. So pick one, pick maybe two of them, and implement into your daily routine. Again, make it simple. Make it what you can do on your hardest day. Then when it came down to how we can eliminate distractions, kind of just talked about putting the phone away, not having it near you, turning it off rather than having it around you when you're eating, not having the TV on when you're eating. The last thing that I talked about can be tough, because right now our work situation is a bit different, is setting up, putting away your computer, not eating while you're working, is the other way to focus, be able to focus more on your nutrition. Time for some exercise. So today I wanted to go back to a lower body exercise. And last week we covered squat. Today I'm going to do a step up, and I'm going to try to bias this towards two different ways of doing it so you feel it in two different areas. So the biggest thing, a couple things that I want us to talk about here is, well, there's the height that you're using. Now I'm using, as you can see in here, a 12-pack of bubbly and then 3 books on there. The cool thing about the books is you can make it very much adjustable towards what you can do. So I can be like, oh, wow, I'm only going to do the height of the bubbly. Well, that's okay. Yeah, I can handle that. Oh, let me put 1 book on. Let me put 2 books on. Let me put 3 books on there. Just make sure that they're super solid and they're not sliding around on this. Now, I'm going to go ahead with the 3 books. I'm going to position those on there very carefully. Now, the second thing I want you to think about is your support. So I encourage everybody to have something to hold on to. I'm using the wall here. That way, when I'm doing it, I can actually think about just generate tension in this example here through the glutes, okay, or through the hip, rather than having to balance and everything like that. Now your body is just having to orchestrate a solution to do that, which is going to use everything available. So it kind of waters down the experience. And that goes into my third thing that I always want to talk about, is it's about the control. So on a step up, it's not doing something like this really fast or using this back leg to push off. The control is more just on the descent. You're just going to set that back foot down and drive vertically, okay? And so it's about where the focus is. That control helps you with the focus. So the first thing I want to go ahead and cover in terms of the exercise is being a more hip-focused step up versus a knee-focused step up. And how we do that is starting off straight, and then what I want to do is lean forward, and what I'm trying to do is with my hip is just bend there, and I'm trying to take it backwards. And you see there, my shin angle didn't really change. So the driver here, I'm focusing on, my intent here is to execute through my hip extensors, which would be like your glutes, hamstrings, a couple other muscles involved, but we won't get too detailed on that. But just focus back here. versus a knee-focused step up, which is more going to be here. I'm trying to stay more upright. My knee is bending a lot, and I'm driving up there. And I'm trying to now focus on the front of my leg to execute this. You'll still feel some back here, but it's more about kind of a percentage. Where do you want to get that focus? I will say this on this particular exercise. For my clients that I'm working with, I typically do the hip-focused exercise for them so they can get more confident walking up and down stairs and have that strength to do that. So that's the one I typically bias my clients to, but I will do the knee-focused one in situations like that. We're not doing a lot of things that you can focus on just the quads. So go ahead and see which one is more comfortable for you. And if you do have any questions or anything like that, go ahead and please reach out to me at via strictlymuscles.net. I'll be happy to answer any questions. You can also leave some comments in the bottom in there, and if it's easy enough for me to answer, I'll answer it back for you through there. With our mindset focus of the day, I wanted to just go back and revisit yesterday's share of a bigthink.com article on the Stockdale Paradox. I hope everybody had a chance to read through it, and I shared a quote from there that I thought was pretty important. And really what Stockdale, and it was referenced in there, Viktor Frankl, said about people that didn't balance optimism with reality was the nugget that I took from it. How they talked about how the people who really, we're going to get out by Christmas, we're going to get out by Easter, we're going to get out by Thanksgiving, where those were the ones that perish, rather than balancing out, having hope, but going, okay, let's be realistic about this as well. So the quote that I have for you is in those lines. It's about building that preparedness for difficulty. And I got this from Seneca. The unexpected blows of fortune fall heaviest and most painfully, which is why the wise man thinks about them in advance. So just prepare yourself for any hardship that's coming up. Use your imagination for hardship, not just for really cool things like going to the beach and all the fun things you want to do in life. Thank you, and talk to you tomorrow.